Hello, this is Adam Began, and I'm the host of Historically Haunted Show, where I talk about some very rare historical and haunted locations that I visited. I also interview some of the very best in the paranormal and cryptozoology field. So tune in every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Paranormal King Radio Network. And prepare to be educated about the unknown. Hello, historians. Good evening. Welcome back to Historically Haunted Show. Episode 13, rather fitting. We have someone, I think, if you guys that don't know who we're talking to, you might as well just change the channel now. I got a guest of mine that I call him a paisan because he's an Italian brethren. I've met him twice, and I consider him a good soul and a friend of mine, Mr. Tony Spera. How are you, sir?
Hey, Adam. How are you tonight? Good to talk to you.
Oh, it's good to talk to you. I'm great. How's Connecticut right now? Getting hit with the snow too, like Maine is?
Yeah, we got a little bit of snow this morning. Where I live, it's in New Milford, near Danbury, Connecticut. We got about 4 inches of snow, then ice, a little bit of ice on top of it, but not that bad though. Wasn't that bad. The roads are fine now.
We're used to that, being New England blood anyway, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Tony, so I haven't seen you since the first annual Warren Con, which was a smashing success. I think you'd agree to that.
Yeah, oh yeah, we had a great time. We tried to plan it, really well, so it would go off well, and it did. And we had a really great response. We had total for the 2 days about 2,200, 2,300 people. So that's a lot. That's a lot. That's why we said to ourselves, I think we should expand it, go bigger and better, and greater. So we're going to have it at the Mohegan Sun Casino in Connecticut, the Indian Casino, which has a big ballroom, 18,000 square feet ballroom.
Wow.
For a meeting room. That's where we're going to have it, and it's at the casino. So people if they want to walk around a casino after they go through the vendors and the speakers and everything, and the museum. We'll have a good time. It's like there's so much to do there. So that's why we picked it, and we figured it'd be a lot more room and a lot more easy to navigate.
Absolutely. I think with the first one, you guys were kind of just testing the waters, and you didn't realize people were coming from California, Texas. People were coming from England to come to the Warren Con. We're like, there's a little hotel lobby.
Yeah, I didn't realize that people came from all over the place. Texas,
crazy.
California, one guy came from overseas somewhere. I can't remember what country, but he came from overseas, and I was like, I blew my mind that they spend that kind of money to come. But I guess they enjoyed it. I haven't hardly had any complaints. People loved it.
Oh yeah.
So that's what made my team and I say, hey, let's go Mohegan Sun if we can, and we were able to get that location for that day, October 29th.
October 29th, 2022. Me and Heather will be there. Everybody listening. So. Oh, absolutely. Everybody listening, go to, if you haven't already, New England Society for Paranormal Research. That's Tony's team's page. Obviously, and Lorraine started it, but Tony runs it now. Dr. Ware, WEAR, that's Dan Riviera. That's Tony's right-hand man. We love Danny. Danny, Chris Galorian, even Eric Vitale, Jimmy Haunted, everybody was right there. Very professional. It was such a great event.
Well, I couldn't have done it. I couldn't have put it on without him, because the planning that went into this thing. We didn't just say let's rent the place and then see who shows up. It wasn't like that. It was we had meetings every week to go over ticket prices, who we're going to have for speakers, who we're going to have for security, what time the speakers are going to speak, how many vendors, and what are they going to sell, and what kind of mix of vendors should we have. The whole thing. Should we have? So we went crazy planning it for months and months before.
And now you're kind of getting at it probably earlier, and like you said, you got a bigger venue. It's just going to be your second one, and you've already hitting out of the park. I've been in Mohegan Sun to see. I know you're into music. You're a Beach Boys guy, and you love your own Italian Frank Sinatra and stuff.
Right.
I do too. Right. But I actually went to Mohegan Sun to see Rob Zombie. You probably heard of him. He's like a horror singer.
Yeah,
but Mohegan Sun, everybody, like Tony said, they got buffets and they got entertainment. They got all the bells and whistles. So after the Warren Con, that's a perfect place.
They got a lot of slot machines, poker tables.
Great idea,
you know, it's a casino. It's a regular casino, but they got a lot of restaurants. They got a mall there where you can go shopping. High-end malls.
Yeah.
Beautiful kind of different things that you could walk through. It's a very good experience.
And a lot of parking.
Yes, and right, a lot of parking. So you're not going to be crowded in there, and you don't have to worry about it raining outside. Like when we were at the Waterbury one, we had to worry about people standing in the rain outside because, see, in the Waterbury hotel, the Marriott, they told us, you can only have 300 people in a room at one time. So I'm saying, okay, well, we maybe can handle that if we rotate in and out. It's going to be in and out. People come for a half hour, they leave, 10 minutes, they leave. But everybody showed up at once at 10
minutes. My God.
And so we got 900 people in line, and we can't only let 300 at a time, and it started raining. So we figured this time it's going to be all inside, and nobody has to wait outside.
That's a low ball. There probably was 1,200. I know there's over $2,000, but I mean, me and Heather showed up, and it was like it's like the Beatles showed up to play a concert. It was wrapped around the hotel.
Yeah, I know. It was. I didn't expect it to be like. I mean, I knew how many tickets we sold. We actually shut off ticket sales.
Wow.
Weeks before because we had too many. I got scared. I said, even rotating in and out. I mean, how many people could we have in this little place that holds 300 people at once? And so that's Mohegan Sun. They said you could have 1,500 at once.
Wow.
Wow.
And you'll fill it. You'll fill it, bro. You know that.
I hope so.
Real quick, Tony, I know you can't see it, but we do have a live chat. We got about 10, 15 people in there. We have two of your speakers in there. Well, one of them, UFO Fred Richards, who keeps saying it was a great event, wall to wall. Fred says hi.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He's listening. And also Danny Perez, who does the coffin Ouija boards and stuff.
Oh, yeah, he's good.
In the hearse, yeah.
He's a good guy, too, and he's been through some health issues.
Yes, he's listening. He says hello, too.
That made me nervous when he was talking about his health. I think he's better now. Well, I hope he shows up for the Mohegan Sun thing.
You hear that, Danny?
He better bring a lot of product.
Tony, if I may just inflate your ego a little bit and kind of just cut you off, this is what draws me to you and Nesper and what you guys are about, because I see paranormal teams out there and I see people and it's all about the buck and it's all about the flashy, and no one talks about God. No one talks about actually caring, and you bring God into every investigation, and you bring and honestly, I follow you like a little kid follows Hulk Hogan, I guess. I don't know, like Nesper to me, and you and Dan and the whole crew and Judy. Yeah. Me and Heather we couldn't be more proud to actually know you guys. And right now I'm wearing one of Judy's bracelets. Me and Heather got a couple,
Oh, I'm glad. Good, because 100% of the profits for those bracelets, 100%. Judy doesn't even deduct for like buying supplies like, the pliers and the
God bless her.
The cord that she has to use and the filler pieces that she has to use. She doesn't even deduct for that. If somebody sends her $40 plus the $4 shipping, she takes the $40 plus the $4 shipping and sends it to animal charities.
God bless her.
I think she sent like well over $50,000 to different animal rescues. And the reason she does it, Adam, is Lorraine and Ed were like gigantic animal lovers. That's how Judy was. Judy grew up around animals. They had all kinds of animals. Lorraine had chickens in her house. She had a rooster and 3 hens.
That's New England.
Ed had a in the house in a cage.
Wow.
Because she didn't want to get cold in the winter.
Oh, what a heart! Unreal.
Ed had a fox, a pet fox.
No way.
He rescued a fox, and he had a fox for years. And let me tell you a quick story.
Oh, absolutely, Tony.
Subject, but this is years ago. He had this pet fox, and they named him Red Fox. Because he was a red fox.
My favorite comedian, one of my favorite old comedians.
Yeah. So he had to go to the store. Now, remember, this is prior to cell phones. You had to dial up everything on a wall phone. So he says to Lorraine, I'm going to go out to the store. I'm taking Red with me in the car, but I'll be back in about a half hour. Okay, Ed. Lorraine says, okay, Ed, fine. An hour and a half later, Lorraine's getting worried because he hasn't come back yet from this like drugstore or something.
Can't call him, can't text
Finally,
him.
the phone rings. It's Ed, and Ed's on the phone, and he says, "Lorraine, you got to get down here right away." And Lorraine got nervous. I thought Ed had a, problem, medical or something. She said, "Ed, what's going on? What do you mean?" He said, "That damn fox won't let me back in the car." The fox was snapping at him while he went into the drugstore.
Are you shitting me?
No. And then Lorraine drove her car down and had to hi, Red, on the passenger side.
Oh, her Lorraine charm. Yeah, I can imagine.
Calm him down. Okay, Ed, jump in the car now. Ed,
oh my God, damn!
There's a wild animal, but he had, I guess, he had personality problems, But that's how Ed was. And one time they were in Florida, and Lorraine said to me, she was, I brought a tarantula back on the airplane. I go, "What are you talking about, Lorraine?" She goes, "Yeah, but nobody knew it." I said, "Nobody knew you had a tarantula on you?" She goes, "No, honest to God, I'm not lying." She says, "Oh, I kept him in my bra," and I kept talking to him on the plane, in the seat of the plane, because somebody gave Ed a tarantula down in Florida, and they're flying back, and he named it Igor.
Oh my God!
So they loved animals. So and Judy loves animals beyond belief. I love animals actually too. I've never hurt an animal. And so she said, "I'm going to do something for, in honor of my mother. I'm going to sell pieces of her cosmetic jewelry." Now, she doesn't put the whole, they're not all her beads on this.
No.
She puts one or two of Lorraine's beads incorporated with other cosmetic beads on a bracelet. And she puts a tag that says Lorraine Warren on it. And she sells
a little metal tag. Yeah, I got one. Yeah.
So, but the thing about God is, if you believe in the paranormal, and you believe in ghosts, and you believe in that kind of afterlife, or that something is appearing to you and can communicate somehow with you, or you can see it, that means you believe in a spirit. So if you believe in a spirit, God is a spirit. God is a supernatural being, and he created you in his image. So you are a spirit and a body, so you are too. In other words, where do you think?
I love that.
Where do you think all this stuff came from? Where do you think? When you look at yourself in the mirror, how do you think you got to be who you are? People say, "Well, I don't believe in ghosts because I never saw one." Well, there's a lot of things you never saw that are real. Like
right.
In other words, if I said to you, Adam, "Adam, do you have a brain?" And you would say, "Of course I have a brain." And I'd say, "Can you see your brain?" And you'd say, "Yeah, well, if you crack my skull open, you could see my brain," and you could. But then if I said to you, "Hey, Adam, do you have a mind of your own?" And you would say, "Yeah, I have a mind." And I said, "Can I see it? Can you show it to me?" You're going to say, "No, I can't show it to you, but I have a mind." There you go.
Wow.
You can't see it, but you know it's there, right?
Wow.
If I said to you, "Hey, if you said to me, 'Hey, Tone, I had a dream last night that I was climbing Mount Kilimanjaro, and then I fell off, but I floated down and I landed in a nice near a pond, and there's all these beautiful flowers." And I would say, "Oh, you did?" And you'd say, "Yeah." So I say, "Well, prove it. Show me the dream."
Yeah.
You can't show me the dream, but you had that dream. That was real to you. So people say, "Well, I can't see it, so it's not real. I don't believe in ghosts. I never saw one." Doesn't mean they don't exist.
Damn right. That's a great idea. Wow.
Devils exist. Demons exist. God exists. And you as a spirit and a body exist. You're never going to die, and that's the beauty. Now, of course, when you're sick and old, like maybe when you're 95, you're on a deathbed, you might be afraid. Oh, whatever age, that I'm going to die. Geez, I don't want to leave everything. Well, you aren't going to die. Only that shell will go. The shell of Adam will go. It's like a skin of a snake. Like the skin of a snake is going to peel off, but the snake keeps going.
Yeah.
So, it's like you drive an old car, right? You drive an old beat-up car when you're a kid, and you kept tinkering with it to keep it running. Like, you did everything you could to keep this car running. Then all of a sudden, one day, you're driving down the road, and the thing clunks out, and you got to call a tow truck, and hopefully the guy can start it. And he says to you, "Hey, Adam, that's it, man. That car goes to the dump. You can't fix it. It's dead." What are you going to do? Stay with the car? No, you're going to keep going, just like your spirit will keep going. When you die, you're going to get out of that body, and you're going to keep traveling. So, of course, nobody wants to die, but remember this. It's probably the most beautiful place in the whole thought process. You can't even think of that, how beautiful this place is going to be that you're going to, if you're a good person.
Yes.
If you believe in God.
Absolutely.
If you believe in God as your Savior and the Almighty Creator. If you dismiss God and say, well, I don't believe in God, and you do bad things in life, then now you're on your own. God may forgive you, I don't know. But your whole being should be to please God and to please your fellow man. Because remember that your fellow man are your brothers and your sisters. Whoever you met at that Paracon, God created, and God loves as much as he loves you. So why would you be mean to people that God created and loves? God loves murderers. He loves them. He hopes they would repent. He wants them to repent. But he gave them free will.
Yeah, right.
You and me free will.
Choice.
So if you don't want to choose it, if you want to be a D-head, if you want to be a jerk, he's not going to stop you. He's not going to stop you. But everything you do, I know it's almost like I'm preaching now. But
Tony, dude, no, you're making me feel good, man. You're giving me goosebumps because.
But everything you do,
it's awesome.
You have to do from love. That's Corinthians. Do everything from love. Now, I know it sounds corny. There's people out there. There's people out there right now. I'm not saying they're listening, but there's people out there right now who will knock you over the head for nothing. They'll smack you around. They'll see you getting beat up or getting mugged. They'll walk right by because they don't want anything to. They don't love like they should. That's their brother that's getting beat up on the ground. That's their fellow man that God would want you to protect and help, but you walk by because you don't want to get involved. God remembers all that,
Yeah.
That says a lot about your character. There's people
Yeah.
Go to church. There's people go to church every day. They pray every day, and they're idiots in life. They're selfish. They're cruel. They're hateful to other people. Going to church isn't going to get you into heaven. It's the kind
it's a
of
facade, right? You got to believe in it. You can't just go and be a bigot.
So that's what I learned growing up, and that's what I learned from Ed and Lorraine, that you do everything with God associated to it. You don't walk into a haunted house and tell people you have a ghost, but I don't know what it is. It's not a spirit. If you said something like that, then you shouldn't even be a paranormal investigator, because any manifestation of a ghost in a house is a spirit. Now, the question is it a human spirit or is it a demonic entity coming in the guise of a human spirit, perhaps? So those are the things. That any time that you see a ghost, if you said, geez, I saw a ghost as solid as you and me standing there with an old Abe Lincoln hat on, he's a spirit. He's not just a manifestation of your imagination. He's a spirit who somehow, made it through the dimension. The conditions were right for him to appear. It's real. It's real.
Well, riddle me this too, Tony. As far as I'm concerned, if you're an atheist, you shouldn't be in this field at all, because even a demon technically is created by God. Satan was created by God.
Absolutely.
So even if you're a Satanist, that means you're not an atheist. You still believe in God to an extent. Like you say, you can't kill energy, and that's what we all are. I saw you do that on an interview. I watched a lot of your YouTube channel stuff, and someone tried to call you out on that stuff. They go, well, I don't really see it, and you kind of gave that spiel. Well, you don't see oxygen, you don't see gravity, but it's there, right? You
can't see your mind, but it's there, and you can't see your dreams. Like you can't show me your dreams that happened, but it happened, didn't it? But you can't prove it to me ever. You can never prove to me that you fell off Mount Kilimanjaro, but you did in the dream. You know what I mean? So it's like there's so many unknowns, and we're not supposed to have all the answers, because if we had all the answers, that's not what God's intention is, for you to have all the answers now. He wants you to learn the lessons of life. Why give you all the answers? In other words, if somebody gives you all the answers, you don't have to explore. You don't have to have things by trial and error. You don't have to try if you got all the answers. But God wants you to learn. He wants you to learn the lessons of life.
Everybody listening, we got about 12 people in chat. This is coming from Tony, who's he's worked with Ed and Lorraine. He's done the Hollywood thing. He's done interviews. He's been with Zach Baggins. He's done all that stuff, and he still resorts to God. He knows God is above all. That's very grounded, and that's, you guys listening need to know that, because I preach that a lot, and not a lot of people do. And I'm glad that you do, because you're kind of a head honcho in this field, and for you to say it. Real quick, my girl Heather Kim and Edie, she loves you. She says hi to you and Judy.
Hi. Yep.
She says that Judy's grandfather was a police officer. Does she think that helped you win Judy's heart, being a police officer as well? That's a nice question. Thank you.
Maybe. I think Judy she liked cops. Judy she likes policemen.
That's a brotherhood too. They take care of each other like military.
She likes law and order. Oh yeah. Well, what's going on with the police today and the way people are treating the police today is
horrible,
shameful. It's disgusting. It's actually disgusting, because I agree. You can't unless you walk in their shoes. You can't criticize them. I know, because I walked in those shoes. I was a police officer. I know what it was like, and I know the reason why I joined. And it wasn't to hurt people. It was to protect and serve and to help our fellow man. And I tried to do that. But I tell you, there's people out there that are bad people.
Yeah.
So there's bad cops, but there's also bad priests.
Yeah.
There's bad doctors. There's bad everybody.
Yeah.
You're going to try to tell me that 100% of the police department should be perfect? They're human beings like you and me. They have tempers. They have emotions. They have feelings. And to be honest with you, their whole goal is to get home that night from their shift.
Right. Their life's on the line for us every day. Right.
Like you don't know what the police officer just went through when he pulled you over. I mean, sure, there's D-heads in the police department, but there's D-heads everywhere. There's D-head civilians for sure.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of people that have no respect, but they get robbed. Somebody breaks in their house. First person they want to call the cops. Call the cops.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
The police got an impossible job. It's an impossible.
You tell me if you want to get rid of guns and someone's got a gun in your face, you're going to want a gun to protect yourself. Come on, guys, be reasonable.
Well,
these people.
Anybody out there who has a gun, don't get rid of it.
Don't especially in Maine, we're allowed to arm ourselves to the teeth. We do.
Good.
A question from Ross, my boss. We talked to him earlier. He wants to know which cases, I kind of know, but maybe our audience doesn't know. What cases did you help the Warrens on? I know you used to do a lot of talking with them, the Seekers of the Supernatural, your old talk show for a long time.
I've helped with many cases.
Too many to name, really.
Huh?
Too many to name. I mean, to pinpoint.
Yeah, a lot of different cases. I've been on hundreds with them. Some weren't, a lot of them weren't big cases or great cases, but most are like that. Most are like that, where they're not big and they're not gigantic cases.
They're not all Conjuring. They're not all Annabelle. It's
right.
Hollywood.
They're not all Conjuring. They're not all Annabelle. But I've been in situations with them where it was scary, where, I felt somebody push me or grab me from behind while I was in the house, things like that.
Yeah.
So most of these cases are not what you'd call movie type star cases, but the people in the houses are tormented anyway because they're scared. Imagine tonight you go to bed, right? Tonight you go to bed, you lay in the bed and you're alone tonight and you're sleeping. All of a sudden, about say 3 o'clock in the morning, you start to feel the bed shake a little bit. And then maybe like you're gonna feeling like there's something under the bed. And then maybe the covers start to get drawn off of you with no hands, or you're not doing it and you're wide awake. Maybe you can feel a sense of dread or doom or a terrifically bad smell around you. That can frighten you so much because there's nothing you could do about it. You can't grab a baseball bat and hit nothing. There's nothing. So you get frightened because it's the unknown. But that's where God comes in.
That's right.
That's where you say, in the name of Jesus Christ and the blood of Christ, I command you to leave and go back to where you came from, over and over in your mind. Sometimes you'll awaken. I'm sure people listening will awaken, know that they've awakened from sleep, but they can't move, they can't yell out. That's called phantomania or psychic paralyzation, where something is trying to overtake your body and perhaps even possess your body. That's why you can't move. It's paralyzing you. So in that instance, you can't yell out or anything, so you just say it in your mind over and over. In the name of Jesus Christ, I command you to leave and go back to where you came. In the name of Jesus Christ, I command you that way. But you have to believe in Jesus Christ and believe that God is going to save you and protect you, because He
Absolutely.
will. If you call on Him, you have to call on Him. So that's the key, is having a big faith in the Lord. I mean, Ed and Lorraine were in this business for 50 years. Yeah, Ed had stuff happen to him, but he didn't die. I mean, of course, he had a heart attack in 1986, but that was probably poor eating or something. It wasn't from the supernatural. He recovered from it. He had a bypass, and he recovered from it. You can't blame everything on the paranormal,
That's right. People believe too much in that superstition stuff. Wow. This is great. We still got a half hour to go. I want to touch base on some more stuff, but the chat is lining up, and I don't want to ignore the people. Nicole Gaspard says hi. She runs Real Haunted Connections, a radio show as well. She's a big fan, Tony.
Hi.
She's there you go, Nicole. He said hi like you wanted. She wants to know what the scariest artifact you have besides Annabelle. Fred Richards actually answered that, saying he thinks it's the Shadow Doll. I think it's a satanic idol. That's pretty freaky. But
All right, so I'd say those are 1, 2, and 3, and you could pick the order of 2 and 3. 1 is Annabelle. The Shadow Doll and the idol are very bad.
Yeah.
Because the Shadow Doll is called the Shadow Doll because the way it was created to come to you in your dreams. It's an ugly, ugly looking thing made out of like bird's feathers, animal bone, a human tooth sticking out the mouth, and it's used through incantations people would use in a curse. So what I would do if I had that doll and I created the doll, or if I just had it, but I was a sorcerer, I was a wizard, and I know how to use certain rituals and incantations as a curse. What they do, and this is from Ed told me this, they take a photo of the doll. And now, Adam, I don't like you because you did something against me. So I take the photo, print it out, and then on the back of the photo, I write the curse to Adam, that I want something to happen to Adam. And I put it in an envelope and I mail it to you. And just by the fact that you open the envelope and pull out the picture and looked at it, unbeknownst to you, you accepted the curse that went with it. That's the scary part about having a shadow doll like that, because it's similar to like an evil board, or it's similar to like a Ouija board almost in a way, but it's more to do with curses, because it's intended to harm. I shouldn't say like a Ouija board. I should say like a voodoo doll.
Yeah.
It's like a voodoo doll intended to harm. Like a voodoo doll, you would take like animal, like the hair clippings from a person, maybe the toenail or the fingernail clippings of the person, incorporated in the doll.
Almost like the New England witch doll in a way.
Yeah, use certain rituals and the pins to hurt the person. And these are things that are real. If the person is knowledgeable enough on how to use these things, it can cause havoc to people. The idol is really something weird, because it was found in the woods in Sandy Hook, Connecticut, in it's a section of Newtown, Connecticut, right up the road from Ed and Lorraine. This 22-year-old kid, bow and arrow hunter, and he was hunting deer. It's about back in 1991, maybe 90.
I knew he was a hunter. I didn't know he was that young. Wow, 22.
Yeah, he's about 22 years old.
Okay, I didn't know that.
He's walking around with a quiver and a bow and arrow and a bow. And he's walking through this wooded area of Sandy Hook in the summertime. And it's really wooded, and he's looking for deer. Now, he didn't see any deer yet, but he's walking down this pathway, and he's starting to get like where he doesn't know where the hell he is. He parked his car on the road, and he walked into the woods. All of a sudden, he comes upon this grotto of rocks, like a round, maybe 7-foot diameter, raised grotto of rocks. And on top of the rocks is a satanic, ugly-looking, evil statue. And it's got like horns, and it's made out of like some kind of ceramic, almost like maybe like a papier-mâché ceramic, almost like you would make a china or a plate from. And it's painted like a tan color, and has these black and red round circle eyes.
Oh, so it's not wood. I thought it was.
No, it's not wood. No, it's like a ceramic. It's not.
I was
wood.
3 feet away from that thing at the Warren Con, and I tell you, that's all as close as I want to get to that damn thing.
Yeah. So the kid.
No shit. I thought it was wood. No shit.
No, it's ceramic. And so he looks at it. It's about 5.5 feet high, but it looks like 8 feet high on this grotto,
Oh, it sure
So
does.
he sees it, and all of a sudden he says, "Oh, there's something wrong here. I don't feel right." He's starting to feel funny. He's feeling funny because it shocked him. It shocked him what he was looking at. So he sits down on the ground. And he says, "What am I going to do? What is this thing?" And he said he couldn't explain his feelings. He couldn't explain how he was feeling, except that his heart started pounding. And he started to say to himself, realize, I got to get out of here. What am I doing sitting here? He stands up. Here's the weird part. He stands up. He starts to walk down this pathway away from the idol, almost like in a march, walking down left, right, getting nervous, heart's racing. All of a sudden, he says, out of nowhere, from the right, appears a man right next to me with a black shirt, and black pants, snow white hair, and a snow white beard. Walking step for step like a march, walking step for step with me, and he's looking straight ahead. He's not looking at the kid. He's not talking to the kid at all. He's just walking with him. Not a kid said, "I'm getting freaked out."
Oh, you think?
He goes, "I'm going to get freaked out." He goes, he said, "I don't know what to do. All I know is the guy's scaring me because he's just walking. He's about 70 years old, walking down the road." He says, I felt like taking an arrow out of my quiver and just stabbing the guy in the chest with it next to me because I was so frightened." I said, "Well, you didn't do that, did you?" He said, "Oh, no, I just mustered up enough courage to say, how do I get out of this place?" He said the guy still never spoke, just kept walking with him, lifted up his right hand with his index finger, and pointed off to the right, and then walked off to the right and was never seen again. So now the kid's like sweaty. He's like, "Oh, shit, I got to go." So he finds his car. First thing he does is goes home and starts talking to his buddies at his house, saying, "Hey, you wouldn't believe what happened to me with this weird guy in the woods in his eyes. He didn't say I was a statue." He calls up Ed, and he calls up Lorraine, and because they told him, "Why don't you call Ed Warren? He lives in Monroe. It's not next town up." He calls Ed. Ed was home. Ed talked to the kid for a while, and he says to the young man, he said, "Do you think you'll be able to find that statue again if we go there?" And the kid says, "Yeah, I'll meet you on the road, such and such a street. I'll meet you there." So they did. Ed walked into the woods, and Lorraine walked into the woods. They see the idol. Ed says, and as we're walking in, Ed says, "Will you tell me what that guy looked like again?" And so he gives the description of the guy. Ed sees the idol. He says, "Well, I know what that is, and that doesn't belong here. That's a satanic worship idol. And the guy you were talking to was a high priest in a satanic cult. I know who he is." Because I'm taking that idol back and putting it in my museum. Doesn't belong here in the woods. And Ed did that. He took it, put it in his car, brought it back home, put it in the museum. So the following day, I'm at Ed's house. I'm like, "Ed, tell me about what the situation here, what's going on,
Yeah.
And he says to me, not the following day, it was about a week later. No, it was about 2 days later. I said, "Ed, tell me about the idol. What's going on with this thing?" He goes, "Well," he gives you the whole story about who the guy was, the priest was. I said, "Well, what's the guy's name, Ed?" So he's telling me the guy's name. And then he says, "But don't ever repeat that name." I says, "What are you talking about, Ed? What are you trying to spook me out?"
Yeah.
He says to me, he goes, "I'm telling you, every time I mention that damn guy's name, something bad happens." He goes, "That's how powerful this guy is." I go, "Come on, Ed." He goes, "No, I'm telling you." He goes, "That's why I'm never going to mention the guy's name to you again, so just remember it." So I said, "All right." The next day after that, I get a call from Ed. "Hey, Tone, Lorraine's in the hospital." "What do you mean she's in the hospital, Ed?" So he tells me this story. He goes, "Well, I was out in the driveway, and I'm working on my windshield wipers on the car. And I looked down the driveway a little bit, and there's Lorraine about 30 feet away watering some flowers in the backyard." And she waves at Ed, and she says, "Okay, honey, after we're done, we'll go eat somewhere." He goes, "Yeah, all right." and he goes back to doing his wipers. He turns back again after several minutes, not even a minute. Turns back, he said, and she's now not there anymore. She's like 25 feet farther into the yard in a semi-fetal position on the ground, like semi-conscious. Ed drops everything. He runs to Ed, to Lorraine, screaming at her, Lorraine, what's the matter? What's going on, Lorraine? What's happening? She doesn't answer him. He calls an ambulance, police in the ambulance. They bring her to St. Vincent's Hospital. For 3 days, she was in and out of consciousness, almost like, because I saw it on that second day, almost like somebody hit her in the head with her fist, and then she had a bad flu or something. She could hardly recognize anybody. So they did all kinds of tests on her brain and everything. And I said, Ed, what are the doctors saying? He said, Tone, they're not saying anything. They're telling me that the brain scan and everything is normal. They don't know what happened.
What?
She didn't have any bruises or nothing. So the third day, she snaps out of it. The second day I was there, she was totally out of it. The third day, she snaps out of it. She's like, hey, what's going on? I'm okay. What do you guys, the doctors say, well, we're going to release her. There's nothing wrong. They released her from the hospital, and she goes home, and she's fine. So the next day, I come over to Ed's house, and I said, Ed, what's going on? What did the doctors finally determine was wrong with Lorraine? He goes, Tone, they never did tell me. They kept saying that the brain scan and all the tests they did were normal. Then he stops, and then he says, but I know what happened. I go, well, what do you mean you know what happened, Ed? He said that GD guy. He didn't say the guy's name, that satanic guy.
Yeah.
I go, what do you mean? He said, that was a warning to me that because I took his idol out of the woods, I stole his idol. He was pissed off. He knew he had took it. He was pissed off, and he did that to Lorraine as a warning. I said, no. I said, yeah, I'm telling you. He said, we both have a lot of knowledge. We both have a lot of power. He goes, but I use mine for good, and he uses his for evil. He goes, but we kind of cancel each other out because we both know what we could each do to each other. And he says, I have knowledge of reverse ceremonial magic. So the guy didn't come after me. He went after Lorraine. So that's the story of the idol. That idol was owned by a satanic priest in Newtown.
And of course, Lorraine's a sensitive and an empath and everything else, so she absorbed it. Wow. Thank you for the story, Tone.
You want to know what's really even more weird?
Yeah.
Adam Lanza, the guy who shot those school children in Sandy Hook. But he did it in like 2014 or 12 or 14. He shot 20 kids, and he shot 6 teachers, as you guys know, and shot his mother, too. He lived on Yogananda Drive. It's called Yogananda Drive. Yogananda was an Indian.
Yeah, the house is torn down now. His house is torn down.
Yeah, but Yogananda Drive is where he lived. And Yogananda was named probably after Yogananda, the seer, the person, the Indian seer, who was very knowledgeable.
Oh, wow.
Philosophy and things like that, and higher planes.
Yeah.
So there's another.
Like a shaman almost.
Adam Lanza lived on Yogananda Drive. There was a kid, Italian kid, who shot his friend and took his girlfriend, kidnapped the kid's girlfriend, his friend's girlfriend, and now he's in jail for killing the kid. He lived on Yogananda Drive in Newtown or Sandy Hook. The satanic priest that I've been talking about, guess where he lived? Yogananda Drive.
Oh, get the frig out of here.
No.
I read about that because Sandy Hook's in Connecticut, and I read that they tore, because people are fascinated. Some people are fascinated by that. They tore the kid's house down. I know where that street is, but it's also down. Wow. Actually, my girlfriend Heather, great question, Heather. She got a question. She actually asked if you think the satanic idol had any connection to the Sandy Hook shootings massacre.
Well, I don't know. I would hate to say it did, but
he lived on that street.
I just got you saying that Adam Lanza, who killed all those kids at Sandy Hook, lived on Yogananda Drive.
You don't think he possessed that kid to do his work for him?
And the high priest lived on. But I'm not going to tell you the priest's name. The high priest, the satanic priest, lived on. He's dead now, but he lived on Yogananda Drive also. And the kid who murdered his best friend and took the girlfriend, kidnapped the girlfriend, he lived on Yogananda Drive. Now, what does that mean?
Jail.
I mean, you can never prove anything. We could never
Wow.
prove anything, but isn't that kind of weird that the high priest
Oh my
that
God.
Ed talked to me about in 1991, it was almost like afraid of the guy, but not really afraid, but didn't want anything to do with the guy and didn't want me to mention the guy's name. Like, because what I did later, about six months after the incident with Lorraine, I said, just as like a test to Ed, I said, Ed, that high priest, what was his name again? The high priest in Sandy Hook? He said, I'm not going to tell you. He wouldn't tell me.
Wow.
Even
It's like
6 months
Voldemort.
later.
You just won't say it.
But I remembered the guy's name.
Wow.
It took me a while. I remembered it, but I wanted to see if Ed was going to just tell me, because he said to me the first. Because I'm never going to tell you the guy's name again. I'll never mention his name. And he did.
That evil bastard never repented. He's in hell where he belongs.
I sure hope so. I sure hope he's in hell.
Oh,
there
man.
are people that go to hell, by the way.
People that think it's a fairy tale.
Hitler's not in paradise. Hitler's not in paradise. Trust me, he's not.
No. Nicole wants.
Because God is a merciful God, though. God is a merciful God, but God is he's also a just God.
Yes.
He's a just God. When he gets angry because you did something so heinous to his people and did not repent for it, he's not going to have you sitting on a cloud with him. You know what I mean?
Joseph Stalin, Adolf Hitler, they can't repent after millions of deaths. Charles Manson. It's one thing if you do something by accident, maybe, and if you're in the army and you repent for maybe shooting against, but these serial killers, these mass murderers, there's no going back from there.
Yeah, there's a big difference. There's a big difference between killing somebody and murdering somebody, because if you're sent to a war zone,
right,
and somebody's trying to kill you,
right,
to save your life, you have to kill somebody.
Right.
You're going to do it, and God's not going to say, "Well, you killed somebody because you shouldn't have done that."
Well, no.
Murder but if is so when it says "Thou shalt not kill" in the Bible, I interpret it as "Thou shalt not murder."
Well, then honestly,
sometimes you have to kill to stay alive.
Yeah,
but
not to get political. What are the people during the Black Lives Matter movement shooting up stores? What's their reason? Not to get political, but so sometimes there's you do it for defense, but some people do it just because they want to do it and they get praised for it.
Yeah,
and that's pretty. Killing a cop is never a good thing. I don't care who you fight for.
Well, it's not at all. I mean, it's one of the worst things you could do, but people are trying to make like it's not such a big deal anymore.
No, well, I follow you a lot. You share black cops, white cops, girl cops that get killed. You're all about the protection. You're one of the good ones, and I know you take a lot of this cop beat. I'm not going to get into that because that's just crap talk. But I like who you are, and I respect you. Let's just put it that way. And I love what you're about.
I try to do everything in a fair way.
That's the way to
fair
do
to
it.
everybody. And that's the thing. Like when I was a cop, I hardly gave out any tickets because I felt bad for the people. Like if I
can see you doing that, giving out warnings.
I put the guy for speeding, and he looked like he didn't have any money and stuff. I'd be like, "Hey, look, can you slow it down a little bit? Come on. I mean, you were going 65 and a 30, like that."
Wow.
And I'd let him go. Other cops, you going 65 and a 60 to give you a ticket. They don't want to hear your story. They don't. But I've been there. Like I know what it's like to be broke. I know what it's like to have a bad day. I know what it's like.
People are saying thank you for your service in chat. A lot of people are saying thank you for serving, Tony.
Well, tell them that I appreciate that and that they're welcome. But it's an honorable job.
Yeah.
Policeman is an honorable job. Fireman is an honorable job. Soldier, Marine, Coast Guard,
paranormal investigator.
They're all honorable jobs. Their jobs, they put their life on the line.
You do too, though.
Makes a lot of money. Soldiers don't make a lot of money, but they'll die for you. That's what it ticks me off when people are like, these guys, what do they hurt that guy for? They shouldn't have a. What do you mean? What are you talking about? I mean, remember after 9/11? I don't know how old you are, Adam, but after 9/11 in 2001, everybody's like, kill them, let's kill these son of a bitch. Let's get Afghanistan, let's get Iraq. Everybody was united because we got hurt and hurt bad.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, they love the cops. They're buying them dinners. They love the firemen. They're buying them,
You remember that? Oh yeah, patting them on the
back.
No. Crime stopped for 2 weeks. No one robbed anybody for 2 weeks. It's
not as this big freaking everything, anti-everything. You know, you can't even make a joke about. You can't even, like the comedians today. They're having a hard time because they can't joke about other people. They can't joke about other people.
Society's been sissified, Tony. Let's face it, they're all a bunch of wee-wees, wow babies.
And to me, that it all lends itself to like the corruption and the degradation of society.
Absolutely.
Society is being degraded daily because we don't have these values anymore. You know, like I'll tell you a quick story that I learned from Wade Kirby, a friend of mine who went to the Paracon. He's a really good friend of Lorraine's too, and the head. But he's a buddy of mine and Judy. He lives in Astoria, Queens, New York, and he told me about this story. And then I heard it on the news. But he told me a story about a woman who's getting raped on the train, and for 26 stops, she was being attacked and raped by this one guy, and nobody tried to intervene to stop it. They were taking photos. They were taking her cell phone pictures. The only way it stopped, you know how it stopped? A transit cop got on at one of the stops, and he saw what was going on. He grabbed the guy, and he arrested him. That's the degradation of society. You mean to tell me that these people on the train don't have sisters, don't have mothers, don't have wives that could get attacked? Would they sit there and just do nothing and want other people to do nothing when their wife or their daughter was getting attacked? There's something wrong with society, man. There's something wrong, and it's got to change. It's got to change.
Lack of God. Lack of believing in God. No one goes.
That's the biggie.
They want them out of Christmas. They want them off the dollar bill. They want them out of school prayers. They want them erased.
Like, you know, when Christmas comes around, I say Merry Christmas.
Damn right.
Screw this happy holiday stuff. Yeah, what holiday? Christmas holiday. That's the holiday.
Yeah.
Have a good holiday. Happy holidays. Oh, we're having a winter festival instead of a Christmas party. That's total.
Whatever happened to when in Rome, man? You're in America. We celebrate Christmas. If you don't like it, get the fuck back to wherever you're from.
Well, that's the whole thing. Because
that's sorry, but I mean,
Christmas is Christmas.
That's
Christmas is Christmas.
Without Christ, it's nothing.
You don't like the name Christmas. You don't like the name Christmas. Don't call it Christmas yourself. Don't stop me from calling it Christmas.
No.
Don't stop me from believing in God or trying.
Damn right.
Don't stop me from saying God's name.
But this is part of
what's the saying on the back of every dollar that you guys steal?
That's it. That's part of the prophecies, though. They want to get rid of God. They want you to get rid of it. That's towards the end of the days. Hopefully, we're not in it, but
I can see the degradation is big time. You know, from when I was a kid. From when I was a kid to now, the degradation in society is so bad now.
I can't imagine.
It's unbelievable. Like right now, like if I was driving down the road in the highway and I saw a trooper getting attacked, I'd pull right over. I'd probably smash into the guy's car and grab the guy with the trooper. I would try to save the trooper. You know how many people would drive right by, wouldn't even call like the barracks, wouldn't even call like the police barracks to report. They wouldn't even stop or call. They would just keep going like, oh, none of my business. You know, oh, cop, he probably deserves it. That's the worst. That's the degradation of society, man.
That's what's missing, man. That's what you're right, man. Tony, you should write. Have you written a book yet? Because you should.
I'm gonna. And you know what the thing is?
Good.
You know what's happening? Don't you understand what's happening, though, Adam? Is that all this degradation means that the devil is smiling and God is frowning.
He's getting his way.
Every act, every cruel act that we do, every insincere thing we do, every like blasé thing we do, the devil smiles.
Yeah.
Every act of hatred, the devil smiles and God frowns. So how do you want to live your life? To please the devil or to please God? I mean, what's wrong with you? Don't you understand, like, when they're on that subway train or that train and that woman's getting raped and they're doing nothing about it, the devil's smiling, man. The devil's like, hey, you're in my court.
Yeah.
The devil's like, you're on my side, huh? But if you grab the guy, the devil frowns.
Yeah.
So what's wrong with people today? They want to go to hell? They want to go to hell. They want to be removed.
I think that no one believes in repercussions. No one thinks, well, there's no God, so how can I get punished? And they think I can just do what I want, and that's bullshit. Let's face it.
Bullshit, because
of
God
course.
is real. God is real. God created everything on this earth, every living thing. That's why I'm good to animals.
How many people in this field are atheists? It blows my mind. How can you be a ghost hunter, quote unquote, if you don't even believe in ghosts?
I don't know what you call them. You call them what? A phenomena hunter or something, or a weird process hunter. I don't know what you call them.
I don't know.
like Ed said, Ed used to say to me all the time, a couple things Ed said was, if somebody doesn't believe in God, they can't investigate with me, he said.
No.
I can't take him into a house. And then he also said, though, he goes, I never met an atheist in a truly haunted house. In other words, a family that doesn't believe in God, but then they get haunted, they quickly turn to God. Like, oh, no, please, God, help me, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, come on. We have to, one person at a time, we have to change society. And the way I look at it is this. If I'm good to people and you're good to people and we spread it, and one person at a time, just like Mother Teresa said, if you can't feed 100 people, feed just one.
That's it.
You know, I mean, the thing is,
yeah.
So the thing is, God's watching. God's watching you. And the devil's watching you too, though. The devil's always tempting. He's always tempting.
The power of free will, right, Tone?
Yeah.
You got to be careful.
It seems to me that the devil is really tempting society today.
He makes it seem nicer. He makes the grass seem greener. I'll care about you. I'll take care of you. Just do what you want. You'll feel good. You're in control. That's not how it is, man.
Yeah, I know. Like some of the songs out today, I can't believe it. You know,
Our music died with the Beach Boys, brother. You know that.
Yeah, and Elvis and the Beach Boys.
Elvis Aaron Presley, a god amongst men.
Yeah, and I went to Graceland. You know, I'll tell you.
Oh,
how much time we got? How much time we got?
Tony says we can go a little bit over. I do get a question. People are blowing up. Hey, I know you guys get questions, but I'm letting Tony talk, so deal with it. But Nicole asked.
Elvis, we went to Graceland.
Yes.
Lorraine and I. We were
Tennessee.
We were lecturing at a college in Tennessee. I can't remember the name of it.
Yes.
But it was a college in Tennessee, and we were at the hotel room, and we have 9 hours till the lecture. And I'm like, Lorraine, I wonder how far Graceland is. We're in Memphis. She said, I don't know. Look it up. I look it up. Oh, we're 12 miles away from Graceland. I said, Lorraine, you want to go to Graceland today? She goes, let's go. Let's go. So we get in the car, the rental car, the GPS. We drive to Graceland. This is probably 2009. We find Graceland. We pull in. We go to Graceland, right? They're bringing the bus across the street to Graceland. We get off the bus. We walk into the front door of Graceland, which I'm in awe, you know. We walk in. It's all white. Everything's white. The couch is white. The piano's white.
Huge mansion.
The house isn't as gigantic as you think, but there's other parts. There's other buildings they've added with wardrobe and stuff. So we're walking towards another room, and it's Vernon Presley's room. It's Elvis's father's room where he used to sleep.
Yes,
so
the father.
Lorraine and I are looking in the room. There's a rope across. You can't walk in. So I said, hey, Lorraine, look, this is Vernon Presley's room. Lorraine goes, he's here, you know. I said, who? She goes, Vernon.
No way.
No, sir. She goes, yeah, so is Elvis. I said, come
on.
My God. I just started laughing. I started I thought she was pulling my leg. I said, Lorraine, don't do that. I said, what are you talking about? She says, and she looked right at me, and she goes, no, Elvis is here. I said, no, he's not. She goes, yeah, he's sitting in a chair. He's sitting in the white couch watching people come in. I said, get out of here, Lorraine. She said, Tone, I'm telling you, his spirit is here.
She was a joke.
And so is Vernon. They're watching people. He's watching people come in. He's smiling.
Wow.
Said, come on, Lorraine. And she stuck with that story. She never later said to me, hey, I was BSing you. No.
No
she
shit.
Saw him. She saw the spirit of Elvis and Vernon. And you know why? The recognition. When you give that kind of recognition to somebody, you draw them back. Yeah. When you have thousands of people wanting to see Elvis, I wish Elvis was here. I wish he was still alive. I miss him. Please, Elvis, I wish you were around. He appeared. I mean, we didn't see him. I didn't see him because I'm not psychic. But Lorraine saw him.
Wow.
And it was mind-blowing. Elvis was, and always will be, the king. Because the first record I ever got, I was about 6 years old. My mother took me to a department store and said, "You want to buy a record today?" I said, "Yeah, I want to buy an Elvis record." This was 1956 or 57. She said, "What do you want?" I said, "I want Hound Dog." And the lady behind the counter, this department store, they give you the records. You don't pick them. And she lifted two up. One was a 45, and one was a 78, a big round 78.
Yeah.
She goes, "Which one do you want?" It comes in 45 and 78. I go, "I want the big one."
Yeah.
It was backed by Don't Be Cruel. And I played that thing to no end. And one day, I had a little record player with a flip top. You lift the top up. It's like red and white record player. They're old. It's from the 50s. And so I put the record like angled against the back of the cover. When you lift the cover of the record player, I angled it. And I went to school. I come back from school, and the record's broken in half. I go, what the hell? I start crying. My father's like, oh, I'm sorry. I walked by the record player, and I tried to close the cover. I didn't know the record was there.
Oh, boy.
Broke it. But I made up for it. I got like every Elvis album now on CD. So.
Well, I was going to say, he's been a risque back then.
I saw Elvis in concert twice.
Jesus, really?
Yeah, 75 and 76.
Connecticut?
Yes. And then I had a concert ticket. You're not going to believe it. I had a concert ticket for August 17th, 1977 at the
Portland, Maine.
Center. He died on the 16th.
He died before Portland, Maine. It was his last show. Would have been Portland, Maine.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
But I had tickets. I had tickets for the show.
My uncle did too, and he tells me because I had a ticket to Elvis Presley and I had a ticket to the Muhammad Ali fight in Lewiston, Maine.
Oh,
so he didn't go to that one, unfortunately.
I remember that one. I mean, I wasn't there, but I remember the one in Lewiston, Maine. Wasn't that with Cassius? Was it with Sonny Liston?
Sonny Liston and Cassius Clay. Well, Muhammad Ali, yes, exactly right, Tone. Good memory. A little funny story about that. Sonny Liston stayed at the Poland Spring Inn, Poland Spring Water. Hiram Ricker haunts that. That's from like 1905. They say he haunts it. He's in there still in his beard. And I guess
Sonny?
people, yeah. No, not Sonny Liston. Well, he stayed at the hotel, but Hiram Ricker. Hiram Ricker. Yeah, he's the founder of Poland Spring. But they say he's there. But Sonny Liston stayed there. I try to get in sometimes. It's usually closed. I try to get a tour if I can. I
found the room that Whitney Houston died in.
No way.
I stayed at the Beverly Hilton when we went to go to watch the filming of The Conjuring with Judy and me. And, you know me. I asked a couple of bellmen. I asked around.
Yeah.
I finally found out what room it was. They don't rent that room out.
No kidding.
So I went down and took a picture of the door.
Oh my God, you're so like me, Tony. God damn, you.
I took a picture of the door.
That's my paisan right there, my brother.
So, but she died in that room. That Beverly Hilton's a nice place too. It's weird because I'm just a regular guy. All of a sudden I'm in the hotel and I'm looking out the balcony, and then I'm reading up. I said, let me look up Beverly Hilton. I looked it up, and the swimming pool I'm looking down at from the balcony, Esther Williams, the famous actress who was a swimmer.
Yes.
She swam in that pool. Swam in that pool. And I think it was Julia Roberts. Julia Roberts jumped in the pool like during one of the People's Choice Awards because he saw the People's Choice Awards in one of the ballrooms at the Beverly Hilton. It's amazing. Frank Sinatra's picture's on the wall down in.
Oh, blue eyes. Oh, blue eyes.
Yeah. He's there. They took a picture of him. He's on the wall. So of the Beverly Hilton. So it's cool. It's just cool to see these things,
I love that you're humble like that. You get excited. You just got back from L.A. People in the chat are blowing up. I know we only got a couple minutes left, but I do got to ask one question about The Conjuring. Someone wants to know, for the whole Conjuring universe, obviously. I know the answer because I know you love them. You've met them, and Heather shared the picture. But she wanted to know how you thought the actor and actress that played in Lorraine were, Patrick and.
They're excellent.
Well, are they great? I think they're great. You feel the love in their thing, huh?
Well, quick story. I know you're going. They said we want to come and see Lorraine. It's 2012. We want to come and see Lorraine, so they arranged it. So Vera and Patrick were going to come to Lorraine's house. So I said, okay, well, we'll meet you there. So we're in the house, and they're supposed to show up, say 1:00. Judy is there. Lorraine's there. I'm there inside the house. All of a sudden, a car pulls up, and they get out of the car, and Judy starts screaming, that's him, because he did a show just previous called A Gifted Man. You can see it on Netflix. It was a series, so like he was a gifted doctor on CBS. And so we knew Patrick Wilson better than we knew Vera at the time. But they came in the house humble as could be. They were humble, they were down to earth, they were just regular folk. You know what I mean? They're regular people. And Patrick, nicest guy in the world. He's the kind of guy you can just bullshit with. You could just,
I could see having a beer with him and talking like the Red Sox or something.
Oh yeah,
you know?
you could joke around with him. You could kid around with him, joke around with him. He doesn't give it. He doesn't care.
And Vera's sweet.
He doesn't
She's
even act
beautiful.
he doesn't even act like he's a movie star or nothing.
Oh,
And
that's
Vera's
cool.
same thing. Vera's the same way.
She's beautiful. Such a great.
She saw me at the after party at Annabelle Comes Home, where after premiere. Then after they had an after party. So I'm sitting there. I'm trying to be cool because I had a white jacket on with a black shirt and a white tie like a mob guy. I'm sitting there.
Mafioso.
Yeah, all of a sudden there's an arm on my shoulder. I turn around. It's Vera. She goes, Tony. And I stand up and she hugs me. And she's just like regular people. Like, why is she saying hi to me? I'm a nobody. I'm really nothing. I'm not a Hollywood director. There's a lot of people there. And Patrick, same thing. You're hanging around the guy. He's hanging around. And some of the other actors from the movie.
They respect you.
And the other actors from the movie were down to earth, like Katie Sarif. She played Danielle in the movie Annabelle Comes Home. She sat with Judy, talking to her, laughing, joking around. Just regular people. They're just nice people. I should say they're nice. They're not stuffy. They're nice.
You know what's fun, Tony? I got to cut you off for a second. That's the same exact thing. My mom passed away 3 months after Lorraine in 2019. Long story short, and that's when I first got to meet you guys. We took some of the money that I got from her will, and we did a night with Annabelle in 2019. And I got to have a night with Nesper at Monroe's. Let me think. I know the name of it off the top of my head. I can't think of them. I'm really flustered right now. But Roberto's Diner in Monroe, Connecticut. And I get to meet Plato, and Plato blessed my cross. I got to meet Dan Rivera. I got to meet all of them. And then I got to meet the one and only Judy Warren Spera, and I got to meet Tony Spera. And you signed my Annabelle doll to Adam. Tony's #1 fan to Adam. And I got that picture of you that I got my profile picture giving the thumbs up. And that night I'm like, shit, what am I going to say to these guys? I'm a fucking dub from Maine. I'm a nobody. And you literally, I saw you at the Warren Con. You go, Mr. Began, Paisan. I go, oh my God, I made a post on Facebook. Tony remembered me. I couldn't believe it. You seriously. And Judy, is Judy right there? Please just give her my love. Tell her I said hi.
I will.
Because me and Heather, and Heather's got one. I know I wasn't going to put you on the spot, but Heather and I would love to come down if we're ever in Connecticut and maybe break bread with you guys.
Yeah,
that would be really. Seriously, you're not just saying that?
We'll go to Sal's Pizza.
I'm going to record this. Oh, this is recorded, Tony, so I'm going to hold you to it, brother.
Yeah, he's from Sal is from Monroe. He's from Italy. He came over from Italy, him and his wife. But they got the best pizza, the best food. He makes scotol and beans. He makes all this other. He makes all kinds of good stuff that you're not going to get in Maine. You're not going to get it in Maine. But he makes like homemade stuff. This guy, and it's really, really good.
If it's good enough for you, it's good enough for me, Paisan. I'm going to hold you to it, Tony. It's getting recorded. So I'm going to call you tomorrow. I'm just kidding.
All right, no problem.
No. I do. Hey, we got a little bit of time. Ross says we can go over. What's your favorite Italian dish? I always see you cooking up pasta for Judy. You're right in the kitchen, I see. Huh?
All of it.
Yeah, you love your sausage.
I like eggplant parm. I like lasagna. I like manigot, but I don't eat manigot a lot. I eat macaroni and meatballs and sausage and brajol.
Good.
Brajol, and then that kind of stuff. I like hot sausage. I like to make my own meatballs. I make brajol once in a while. And sauce. I make the sauce. I love it. And zuppa de peche. I like zuppa de peche.
We got to have another show because we're running out of time. But I got to ask you real quick too. You love your hot rods. Do you have the ghost license plate that Ed and Lorraine had?
You know who has it? Who took it away from me?
Because
it expired, and I didn't know it expired. And this guy called Jimmy Haunted took it over.
Oh, Mr. fucking Haunted, Jimmy.
You know what happened? His wife was looking to surprise him for like a haunted license plate. She's trying haunted. She can't find one online because you could look them up to see if they're available. She goes, I found one, ghost, because Lorraine had let it expire, and it was like 2 years expired from the old car, the 33 Chevy. And
yes, the black one.
He was able to get it. He's got that plate.
Oh, son of a dog! That dog.
I bust his stones all the time.
I got a
33 Chevy. I got a 33 Chevy, all restored original. But I also got a 39 Chevy Coupe, which is a hot rod, which has got a 355 Chevy in it with a 9-inch rear and aluminum heads. It's got
that's a hefty little small one.
It's not done, but it's got over 400 horse. But 400 horsepower today is nothing. So, but it's a nice car. So.
But a stock car, something that's going to get you A to B. I keep up with you because my old man's got a 70 Buick Grand Sport. I posted it once, and you're like, nice car. And I was like, oh, shit. Tony likes my dad's.
I like the Grand Sport. It's got a 455 in it.
Big block, yeah, he likes it. He don't use it much.
So it's nice. They got a lot of torque. Nice car.
We got a couple of minutes left, Tony. This has been so much fun. It's literally been like talking to a friend of mine. I almost don't feel like I've been on air. There's been a lot of people I've been avoiding in chat, but whatever. I want to talk real quick. We'll promote, obviously, NESPR, New England Society for Paranormal Research. People can find your stuff there. They can
also go to warrens.net. WARRENS, like a plural. Warrens.net. That's my website, and that's where I'm going to post, and on Facebook, all the info coming within a week about the Paracon. That's in October. So where to buy tickets and everything, and we're going to add some terrific speakers to the lineup. And Fred Richards was there last year. He was good. He's good. I believe in UFOs, by the way.
Oh, someone's going to ask. Also, my friend Nathaniel Elwell from Nate's Paranormal Society, he says hi. He wanted me to say hi. Steve Johnson says hi. All right. George Morton.
Remember this. There are UFOs. And just because there's UFOs and there's aliens doesn't mean there's not a God. Because remember this. God created everything in the universe, including aliens. People say, well, that throws the heck out of the Bible. No, it doesn't.
No, it
doesn't. God created the heavens and the earth, right? But also, maybe these aliens have a Bible too that God gave to them.
There's no dinosaurs in the Bible, but there was dinosaur bones. Come on, people. They're so naive. So naive.
People, lighten up. There's too much evidence that there's aliens out there.
Oh, Tony, I gotta split a meatball with you and have a beer because I feel like we're old souls, and I'm so glad you came on my show. Real quick too, you have a couple YouTube channels, correct? You want to give those a shout out?
Yeah. It's the official Warrens. It's official Warrens. It's Tony Spera presents the official Warrens channel. If you just look up my name, if you just go to YouTube and punch in Tony Spera, you should order Warrens Supernatural. You should be able to get it. It'll say when you get it on the top. It'll say on the cover page, like of the YouTube, it'll say NESPR, the official website of Lorraine Warren, and that has a lot of YouTube videos on it.
Oh, and, so many, and he does have his own too. Just Tony Spera. I follow that. All your old shows of Seekers of Supernatural. For years you did that, touching base on Hannah Crana. I wanted to talk about Hannah Crana, but we don't get time now. But so much good stuff.
Old Hannah Crana, the witch.
I love witches. You know me. And all the paintings Ed did, and man, I'm so blessed to know you. I really do. Like I don't know, you don't believe in false idols, but you're one of the ones in human form that I really look up to. Man, you and Judy, me and Heather love what you guys do.
Actually, one time Elvis was walking into a place. Elvis Presley was walking into a place, and they go, "Elvis, you're the king." And he looks at him and he goes, "I'm just a singer. Jesus Christ is the king."
Amen. Amen.
Right?
Even he was humble. Aaron Elvis Presley, he was humble. You tell me.
January 8th, 1935, he was born.
God.
Yep.
Oh, you like my story too? I shared the Beach Boys song. I know you're a Beach Boys fan of my story. I thought you put hearts on it. Shit, they're kicking me out, brother. I gotta have you back sometime. But Tony, I want to come down and break bread once the weather clears up. Maybe.
Okay, we will. We definitely will. I will fill you up with food.
I'm holding you to that, Paisan. I'll get you and Judy a little shot of wine on Heather and I.
Sounds good. Good.
Okay, may God bless you, my brother. Stay safe out there, you and Dan and all the whole crew.
Thank you, Adam.
I couldn't thank you enough for coming on my show, brother. You flew the hour by. We got about 20 people in chat that are just eating you up.
You're very welcome, and I'm glad everybody's tuning in, and I hope maybe they learned a little something about God and about life,
You're a man's man, Tony.
All right, my man. Thanks, Adam.
Thanks for everything. Give Judy a big old hug for me, and especially Heather. She loves Judy. She's bought in bracelets. She shares Judy stuff. We can't love you guys enough. So
we'll
God bless you both, and we'll break some bread soon. Tony Spera, everybody. Nesper. Thank you for tuning in. Historically Haunted Show. Have a good night.
Got it, man. Thank you. Thanks. Bye.
Hello, this is Adam Began, and I'm the host of Historically Haunted Show, where I talk about some very rare historical and haunted locations that I visited. I also interview some of the very best in the paranormal and cryptozoology field. So tune in every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Paranormal King Radio Network. And prepare to be educated about the unknown.